Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great Falls is where it all started and where it's going to start again.
That's right.
A few weeks back, we broke ground on a river walk at the symbol of our city. And in the very near future, we're hoping to break ground on a visitor center named for our city's founder, Alexander Hamilton. And behind us, well behind this bridge, Hinchliffe Stadium will be brought back to life after 25 years of being fallow. We are positioning Paterson for progress, but we are not doing it alone. We're glad to have federal partners like Congressman Bill Pascrell, our Superintendent Darren Boch, and our county commissioners, Pat Lepore, Terry Duffy, Cassandra Lazara, or better known as Sandy. So today, we're proud to announce that this bridge is going to get some assistance here from the National Park Service and the County of Passaic. You're stepping up to the plate. And we also want to point out the fact that Paterson is making progress. We're positioning Paterson for progress. But you can't position Paterson for progress without the Great Falls. And you can't position Paterson for progress without a bridge that gives you the best view of the Great Falls. At this time, a champion, our fighter, federal fighter, the Washington Warrior, Congressman Bill Pascrell.
Mr. Super,
Congressman?
I remember the day that you came here,
That's right.
and I said this was the symbol I was waiting for.
Yes. Yes.
Then I knew something was happening,
That's right.
that other people were watching and got involved. As you know, the park system was very skeptical in the very beginning,
That's right.
but we've made
Yes.
believers out of those skeptics.
Yes.
Yes, we have, Congressman.
Now I can go there, I don't have to sit out on their steps. We don't need propaganda. It speaks for itself.
That's right.
Very true.
That's right.
And you've been the first leader here, and we're appreciative of that.
Thank you.
You assembled a good group around you, and whatever you guys need, you know where you guys have to go,
Thank you, Congressman.
or will go. So these are iconic falls, right? Commissioner
Yes.
Lazara, Commissioner Lepore, Commissioner Duffy. These are iconic. Now we were fighting over who the heck owns the bridge.
Yeah.
You know, I actually am attracted to fighting, but this is the dumbest fight I've ever heard in my life. It's our understanding, my understanding, that the Water Commission would transfer the ownership of the footbridge to the National Park System. That's the objective. Once repairs were made, because federal regulations prevent the National Park System from taking ownership of an unsafe bridge. Actually says that. So the Water Commission handled the footbridge repairs in 2017. We had them. And there were several news stories that the Water Commission was involved in the construction of the bridge 4 decades ago. So this spring, you pressed James Muller. I pressed him after tying him up in a chair. And he's the new executive director of the Water Commission, from what I understand, on this issue. So the first pedestrian bridge that was built near the Great Falls in the late 1820s, right?
1827.
In subsequent decades, there were various replacements of the footbridge. They were constructed and figured prominently in the 19th century paintings of the Great Falls. You can see it right in the paintings. The fifth walking bridge was built in 1888 and remained in use for most of the 20th century. A new bridge was needed in the early 1980s because the Water Commission was putting a large pipe across the structure. Enter problems. I said that. So, the commission, the National Park System, is putting $300,000 toward the new footbridge, and we're here to celebrate the county's involvement in it. I want to stop for a second because they deserve a real great salute for stepping up and not being bashful about it. You say, well, what the hell has that got to do with the price of tomatoes? A new bridge. It has a lot to do with what we're trying to do here as you see all the construction going on. Action. Attraction of people. People come here, take a look, they see, and they like it, they'll come back again.
Yes. I'll say it.
I mean, I like pipes too. But I like bridges better. So the Water Commission absolved themselves of the bridge's responsibility. Aha! There are no firm estimates on the total costs for the design of a new bridge. The preliminary estimates are between $300,000 and $750,000. Paterson will hold a contract for the project, and upon completion, transfer the bridge to the National Park. And that is in writing as part of the Mary Ellen Kramer Park. So, it's a good morning, a little brisk. The mayor's got his summer suit on. He has a problem with dates and
Paterson advice.
I know you're tirelessly dedicated to both.
That was good.
I mean, this both the mayor and our super to making our beautiful park successful. You think of all the people that worked near this park that made America what it is today.
Yes.
Helped make America. Think about that. So we celebrated the falls, that is, the decennial anniversary last year.
That's right.
Appropriately.
That's right.
It was a great event to highlight the progress we've made and where a lot of work that we have ahead of us. The first pedestrian crossing was built nearly 200 years ago. Think about it. This historic bridge has been through many replacements and repairs. The prominent symbol of our city was the only remaining pedestrian route between the two sections of our park. So I took immediate action when I heard our iconic pedestrian bridge was closed. I don't like closed bridges, whether they're moving pedestrians or vehicles. First of all, they're never kept up with the safety regulations. I never ceases to amaze me why. So I'm pleased that the Park Service is going to do their part with money. And again, the county is here stepping up to the plate. You don't know what that means to the project. If we didn't come to a deal soon, I was going to ask my friends, the Flying Wolandas, who I was on a wire with up here. I mean, you got to be certifiable to be a mayor. To reinstall their tightrope across the chasm. And when Mr. Wolanda said to me, "Don't look down," of course I had to look down. Peck's bad boy. And I says, "Oh my God." Religion is always there, you know that. This beacon of industrialization and ingenuity will be safe for public use and enjoyment. I look forward for the completion, the visitor experience with the work at the Hinchcliffe Stadium and the accompanying apartments. I'm fighting like hell in the home stretch for our visitor center that will welcome people to our city. The Park Service tells me, I don't think the super would fib me, that we welcomed 321,000 visitors last year. The Visors Center, the Visitor Center will be a great entrance. I knew the Great Falls was the crown jewel of our city
Yes.
when I wrote the law to make it a national park. We have made massive progress over the years. And I'll never forget one of the events we had up at the falls in Mary Ellen Kramer Park when she was still alive. It wasn't by that name at that time. When I had I had a station wagon and I had materials there which we were going to put at the falls. This was 30 years ago. And I knocked over one of the big lamps that we had just put up. And I confessed. People need to confess.
It's good for the soul.
So I want to thank you all for being here today. It's a great day. In the words of Joe Biden, this is a big deal.
Yes.
And I thank
like
all
that.
of those who participated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Congressman. You said it. This becomes a national park because of your advocacy, and of course the late and lamented Senator from Paterson, a native son, Frank R. Lautenberg. So we are eternally indebted to you and Senator Lautenberg. And I'm glad that you raised a very salient data point. Over 300,000 people visited the falls last year. We got to get that to 1 million with this bridge reopening, with the river walk, with the visitor center and Hinchliffe Stadium. Yes, there's no reason why we shouldn't surpass 1 million visitors to Paterson, because this must become a tourist destination, an even more desirable tourist destination. At this time, let's hear from our superintendent, who hails from the Silk City. He is a Patersonian, and who says you can't go home, Mr. DeNova? That is Darren Boch. Darren,
Thank you.
who says you can't go home?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. Commissioners, Congressmen. Every time I hear you speak, I know you were a school teacher.
Yes,
And if you ever get tired of Washington, I want you to come here and be a park ranger, because I think there'd be no better person to welcome the 320,000 visitors a year
right.
than to have you wear this uniform.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you
want
get a
that?
hat. Personally, I'll present you that hat.
I've only had a baseball hat on.
Yes.
I'd like to wear
I've always appreciated the congressman and his passion for this place and this national park, and I've always reminded him I really wouldn't be standing here in this position if it were not for his advocacy to have this park in the city of my birth, to have this have this arrowhead that is beloved across America, and have it represented here in the city of Paterson.
Do you want us to put up a monument to the fact that you were born here?
Not why I'm alive, Congressman, but that's a
We can
thought.
only do that with
Yes.
funds.
So,
Boch Bridge.
yes.
Boch.
Uh,
Boch Bridge.
Now I don't know what to say. This is a partnership park. And we said that from day one, and people always wondered and asked and thought out loud, what exactly does that mean? And this is what it means. It really is all levels of government, the public sector, the private sector, coming together to do things on behalf of the city of Paterson and this national park. And the county of Passaic, in the 11 years since establishment of this park, whether it's projects like this one, events, programs, planning, the county of Passaic has been an integral partner of this national park, and I very much appreciate this. Is just another example today of these matching funds that you're providing to the National Park Service. This bridge, honestly, it's been closed for about 14, 15 months, and I think some of my park staff would attest. This is the most important 96 feet in the national park, because we are reminded nearly daily by visitors who have an expectation that you should be able to walk from one side of the national park to the other. And having this bridge, this all-important artery, closed has really been a detriment to the visitor experience and to our operation of managing each sides of the river of this national park. So with the funds we have on the table, and with the city holding those funds and going out to find us a new replacement bridge, we're all looking forward to the time when there'll be no gate and no close sign.
Yeah.
So our hundreds of thousands of visitors, many more which will be added as the stadium opens next year, need to be able to traverse this river. I think it's obvious. So with that, I want to thank everyone and for their continued support, in particular the County of Passaic.
Yes.
And I'll hand it back over
Thank
to
you.
the MC,
Thank you, Gus.
Mayor Andre Sayegh.
Boch Bridge. Now that's got a nice ring to it. We really appreciate
Write
that,
that
Darren.
down.
We are grateful for your leadership. We appreciate the fact that you do emphasize it's a partnership park, and we believe in the power of the falls and the power of partnerships. Today is a testament to that. And speaking of partnerships, we're proud to have partners in our Passaic County Commissioners. I want everybody to take a look straight ahead.
Yeah.
The new and improved Spruce Street Bridge. Thank you, Passaic County Board of Chosen Commissioners. The stars are aligning for our city here at the symbol of our strength. At this time, I want to hear from our commissioner, the first Italian-born commissioner in Passaic County. That is Pasquale Pat Lepore. Pasquale, that's Pat.
Thank you, Mayor.
He puts the Pat in Paterson.
That's it. In my next life, Mayor, I want to be you.
1T.
Yeah.
Oh, 1T. You got 1T in your name?
1T.
Okay.
Good morning, and thank you, Mayor, and all the stakeholders for being here today. As the County Commissioner Liaison to Open Space, the Open Space Committee, and a member of the County Commission Public Works Committee, I'd like to express how excited my colleagues and I on the County Board of Commissioners are about the construction of the new footbridge here at the Great Falls National Historic Park in Paterson. When we reconstructed the Spruce Street Bridge, as the Mayor mentioned, we kept in mind all of the residents, the tourists, and the artists that enter through this gateway into the historic scenic area of Paterson. And once you enter, you take in this gem we have here in Paterson and Passaic County. The Great Falls is the second largest waterfall east of the Mississippi River after Niagara Falls. The restoration of this footbridge will allow visitors to once again get an up-close view of the breathtaking waterfall. With that being said, I will pass on my mic to my colleague on the County Commissioner Board, who is also a member of the County Commission Public Works Committee. Thank you.
All right, Pat. Good morning, everyone. I guess it's my turn. Thank you, Commissioner Lepore. As my colleague stated, we are very proud of the improvement projects that are happening in Paterson. Just last week, we granted $250,000 in open space grant funds for the great city of Paterson for the reconstruction Eastside Park. Today, we're happy to be granting the city of Paterson $200,000 from the Open Space, Farmland, and Historic Preservation Trust for the reconstruction of the Great Falls footbridge. This is an important step in our mission to maintain and preserve the rich history that Passaic County holds. Our history is rich and our future is bright. Thank you for the opportunity to address you. Good morning.
Well said. Drop the mic on that one. Also want to acknowledge again, thank you, Commissioner Sandy Lazara, for joining us. Boy, do you know how to throw a giant watch party. They always win, actually. So this bridge is the connection to economic development, social development, community development, turning this into a top-notch tourist destination. And we have an economic development director who gets it. He's a visionary leader. He's going to tell you in less than 55 minutes everything we're doing to enhance the economic and aesthetic appeal of the Great Falls. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Powell. Less than 55 minutes.
All right, less than 55 minutes. I'm going to move quick here. I prepared a 2-hour speech. I'll do in 55 minutes. But I'm just going to build off of, again, general thanks to the county, obviously, for making this possible, as well as our federal partners, Congressman, all of your work making the park possible, as well as our local colleagues and private donors as well. And so this is hallowed ground, and there's always been a battle between the ownership of this bridge, which is actually kind of interesting. And right behind me, John Ryle used to own that land where he had a cottage on the cliffs. Right, Jimmy Richardson? There we go. We're talking about the use of history as a powerful tool in economic development is an important part of what this administration is striving for. And utilizing cultural heritage and thinking about how do we use that history so that we can think about bringing a hotel back here. So that we can imagine a day when you're coming to see a baseball game or a concert at Hinchliffe Stadium, and then you're going to go over to the visitor center and spend another couple hours there. Then you're going to take the Riverwalk for a few hours and experience all the industrial firsts that happen in this great city. And that is going to mean that you can go to the new reinstalled Libby's and have 15 different Texas wieners, and then you can go to St. Joe's Hospital and really experience what the Texas wiener means. And so, but these are the types of things that I think are really important, and I think it's also interesting how these two bridges have been competing and contracting for quite some time. And so because of the ability of Darren and the National Park Service to now be able to take ownership of it, we're going to end that debate. And this is going to be a permanent fulcrum of the park experience, because when you come here and be able to witness and harness and see and harness the power of the falls, it really changes your perspective of what Paterson is. And then the next chapter is also about bringing back the raceway system, experiencing the reservoir up here, and understanding how it all connects to the downtown and beyond. And so I think you'd be pretty hard pressed right now to understand that the majority of the projects that the city is embracing and embarking upon are really alternative. They're public-private partnerships that are also bringing back public goods. The Vista Park, Hinchliffe Stadium, all of this stuff wouldn't be possible without the people you see behind me and without all of you here as well. And so I just want to thank you, Mayor, for allowing us to take some risks. You know, these projects are not easy. They're very challenging and very complex, and there's more to come. And so thank you very much for everyone here. County Commissioners, the work that you do every day is so important. So thank you all.
Good job, Mike.
Thank you, Michael. As the Congressman often says, there's one T in Paterson. There's also only one T in team.
That's right.
And I'm proud to be a part of this winning team with our Congressman, the National Park Service, and of course, our partners in Passaic County. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.